Assalamualaikum dear students and welcome to my channel. Today we will be discussing Computer Science IGCSE O level pre-release material May-June 2021 task 3, and in today's video we'll see the task 3 and the requirements, and in the task 3, which is the title of the task 3 is end of the day. So in end of the day, we have to display the number of the passengers that traveled on each train journey and the total amount taken for each train journey. This is one thing. And second is to calculate and display the total number of passengers and the total amount of money taken for that whole day. This is the second thing. And third thing is to find and display the train journey with the most passenger that day. So the same points I have written separately one by one. So display number of passengers traveled on each day, calculate and display the total amount of passengers and total number of passengers and total amount taken for that day. Find and display the journey with the passengers, with the most passenger that day. So these 3 points we have to write the solution for them one by one. So the same you can see here. Display number of passengers traveled, display the total number of passengers and amount taken for the whole day, and find the most passenger, the journey with the most passengers. So these 3 subtasks we will be doing in task 3. Now let's move toward the pseudocode. Now here is the pseudocode, and in the pseudocode you can see the same points are written one by one to display the number of the passengers that traveled on each train journey and total amount taken, and to calculate and display the total number of passengers and the total amount taken for that day, and third is to find and display the train journey with the most passenger that day. So these are the variables and the data structures we require in task 3, and you can see that I have used seats up sold count, an array, to count the total number of seats sold for the up timing, and then the total number of seats sold for the down timing will be stored in this seats down sold count. And then there are number of variables like total passengers, total amount, maximum up seat, maximum down seat, and maximum up index and maximum down index. So coming to the first part of the task 3, and that is to display the number of the passengers that traveled on each train journey and total amount taken for each train. For this part, I have used a loop, and in this loop, we will be subtracting the leftover seats from the total seats. So and then the number will be assigned to a new array, that is the seats up sold count, and then seats down sold count. It will also have the leftover seats subtracted from the total seat, and in that we will have the total seats sold for the down train. And then one additional thing we did in this loop is that, especially for the third element, which is for the fourth element, which has the index 3, you know that the number of seats provided or that specific journey has more coaches, 2 more coaches, and that is the reason that it has more seats, which is 640. So we'll be subtracting the leftover seat from 640, and we'll get the accurate number of the seats sold for that special timing. So this is the loop, and then we will display the same statistics and the train up times and the seats up sold and the amount up collected, train down time, seats down sold, and amount down collected. So this will be shown, and this is the pseudocode for the part 1, which is to display the number of passengers that traveled on each train journey and the total amount taken for each journey. Then the second part is to calculate and display the total number of passengers and the total amount taken for that day. Now in first part we were just counting we were counting each journey separately and its amount. And now in the second part, we'll be counting all the journeys, but in that particular single day, and then all the amount which is collected by selling the seeds for that particular day. And we have used a loop. And then the way we do the totaling will be using the total passenger is equal to total passenger plus seats up sold count plus seats down sold count. So this is a special calculation on two different arrays having the same index numbers. So they both will be added into the total passenger, and the loop will carry on, and the data will be the total number of passengers. That total will come in this variable. And in the same way, the total amount is equal to total amount plus amount up collected plus the amount down collected. So, and then we will just output the number of the passengers, total number of passenger, and the total amount collected. So this is the second part of the task 3, sorry. I'm sure it's simple and clear. Coming to the task and the third part of the task 3, that is to find and display the total journey with most passengers that day. Now in this part, we have used a special approach. I will explain it. Okay, Ji. So now in this third part, if we see that it says in this third part we have a loop, and the very first thing is that we are using these two variables. One is max up seat. One variable is max up seat, and that is max, and we are initializing it with the seats up sold count, seat up sold count with the 0. And this means that max up seat, this 75 will be considered as the maximum. Initially, this is the same approach which we usually use for the for finding out the maximum number of from an array. This is the same technique. So we are using the same over here. So we initially assumed that the 0 index element has a value which is the maximum of seed. So we'll start comparing from here. So it means initially it is 75. Now, and in the same way, the max up down seat, if we see max down seat is also, then we have seats down sold count 0. So we have initialized the max up and max down as the 0 index element of these two arrays. Okay. Now here we'll be starting the loop from 1 to 3. So 1 to 3, from 1 to 3. And in this loop, the very first thing we are doing here is that the seats up sold count I. So I is now 1, so it means this one, 180. If this I, now if it is, now this means now 180 is greater than max seat, which is 75. If it is greater, now if it is greater, then what will happen? The status, this max up seat, this max up seat, which was initially 75, will be replaced with 180 because it says that it is different. And the other thing is that the index of 180 will also be stored here, max up index. Now the max up index is equal to now I, which is 1. So we do this, and then the same we will carry on over here. If 100 is greater than 120, then now max down seat is then 100. So now the loop will go on, and now we'll compare the second value, which is 65 here. Now if 65, now we'll compare 65 is greater than, now which one is the from 180. If 65 is greater than 180, no, it is not greater, so it will not replace it. Then it will go to 3. So now in place of 65, the next comparison is with 10. Is 10 is greater than 180? No. When it is no, so it means 180 will be considered as the largest from this array, upsold. And in the same way, here in this we will definitely find out 240 as the largest number, and its index is 3. So in the end of this iteration, what will happen, the loop will draw these two things from upsold and these two things from downsold. So we will have index 1 with element 180 and index 3 with element 240. So these two things, or these two informations, they are now considered as maximum up seed and maximum down seed. So we draw these two things with the help of this iteration. Now the next thing is to compare these two together. Now we have to find out that is 180 greater or 240 greater. So we have to compare 180. So what we'll be doing, seeds upsold count max. Now we'll be using the index. This is max up index, and this is the max down index. So we'll be using the index. And when we compare here, if first assumption is that 180 is greater than 240, this is first assumption. And if 180 is greater than 240, then definitely 180 is greater. But here 180 is not greater than 240. And the second assumption is that 180 is less than 240. So we'll assume these two things here. So now definitely if we see here, this one is the correct one and this is incorrect. So we have written for the same we are doing here in these lines. So if max up index is greater than max down sold count, max seeds up sold count is greater than seeds down sold count, then we will have different information. And seeds up sold count is less than seeds down sold count, then we will have different information. And the information we are showing is, if it is up sold count index, particular index is greater, then we'll have the maximum seed sold on up train, and we'll also write the time of that train, and then the seeds which is considered as the maximum. And if it is down, then the time of that train and the seeds. So this is what we'll be doing in it. Now we'll move toward the programming VB code, and I will show you the code and then we will run it as well. Now you can see in this coding, the coding is visible to you all, and this is the task 3, and in the task 3 we did the part 1, which is the identifying of the seeds upsold count, and for each journey, and then displaying the summary. And then second, we calculated the total passenger and the total amount. And this is the third one, which we said that display the train journey with the most passenger that day. And we initialize max up seed, max down seed with the first element with the 0 index, and then we use the loop, and we compared every element against the max up seed content, and if it is greater than max up seed, then the status of max up seed will be changed. And the same we did with the max down seeds. And this is the last one, where we have compared the up seeds with the down seeds, and the seeds up sold count with the max up index, and seeds down sold count with the max down index. And when we are comparing them, and then we are getting the right number of seeds, which we can declare as the biggest, which is the largest sold number of seed in a specific journey. So now I will run it and will show you that how they all work together. So this is so we are saying you want to sell, yes, want to send, and this is the timing, and go down. So this is down timing. So I will give the biggest numbers so that we can have and then again yes, and enter above time. So this is 11. So I will put various data into it so that we can have better statistics. So now timing is 60, so 65 seats. So now you can see the status is gradually updating, 9, 402, and then again yes, up mountain 9, and down 14, and then how many tickets you want to buy, 59, 5 seats discount, and then you can see, then again one more yes, okay, 1300, so, and then 1600, and then tickets 36, and then want to sell, no, I will say no. Now the total amount collected for the day, okay, just wait a minute. Okay, now you can see on the screen I have input various data. I have filled in the timings with various set of data so that we can have more entries, and then we can have a better statistics. So you can see here the train time, seats sold, amount collected at 9 o'clock 160 seats, and amount 11, 10 o'clock no seats, 11, 10 is the return time, okay. So 11 is uptime 185, and this is the amount. 12 is the return time, 13 is the uptime and amount, 14 is the return time, 15 is the uptime, and 16 is the return time. So the total number of passengers are 900. When we add all these numbers together, we get this digit. Then the total amount collected for the day is 2,400. So this is the amount, dollar in dollars, that is the total for the whole day. And then this is the last one, the maximum seats sold on down train. So now if you see it one by one, so it is 16, 185, 25, 266, 80, and 184. So we can see 266 is the maximum seat sold, and the time is 14. Time is 1400. So the same information is generated over here. The maximum seats sold on down train is 1400, is 266. So this is the last part of the task 3, and by executing all this the pre-release solution, we can see that all the requirements are met, and the problem is completely solved, and all the sub parts, they are done efficiently. So students, this is the completion of the task 3. I hope that you all have understood the idea and the detail how we did it, and wish you all the best for your upcoming exam. In my next video, I will try to make another video on the expected questions and the details of the various kind of questions, and how to attempt the task 1, task 2, and task 3, and how to attempt the section 1 of the pre-release material. Thank you very much.